Chukudi, what exactly is your work? 2 years, you have sold phone, you have sold car, you have sold shoes, and now you are selling furniture. What exactly is your work? Now, are you like Chukudi, that you have been selling different kind of things? I understand. I'm sure it's because you are trying to make ends meet. Country hard. That is one of the reasons why in the next 100 days, I'm going to be showing you a better way of doing this thing. How you can find purpose, how you can stay and focus on a business and build it and become a huge name. I'm going to be teaching you how to build a successful business. And even if you decide that you want to go online and you want to diversify, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to do it. And also I'm going to be fixing that mindset of yours that has been taking you pure. Join me on this 100-day journey. It's absolutely free. Titled Mind and Money. I am going to be teaching you skills that will help you transform not just your mind but also your pocket. Click on the link below. Get registered. See you there. You know say too much garri dey cause alcohol. And you know say this your garri wey you dey take na because of Satan. Now, let me show you how you can increase your income. Let me show you ways that you stop drinking garri every single day. There are other types of food. There's rice, there's beans, there's chicken, and there's so many other things. But you cannot afford those things if you rely on only one source of income, which is your salary. In the next 100 days, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can make money both from cryptocurrency, forex, and from owning a business. And that is not just all. I'll be adding a bonus on teaching you life skills, how to get out of depression, how to handle breakup, and how to live the best life. If you are interested in turning finance around, click on the link below. Join me on this transformative journey. It is absolutely free. Stop drinking garri every time. Because I said it's free doesn't mean that the link is going to remain open forever. Get on board. I'll see you then. Chukudi, what exactly is your work? 2 years, you have sold phone, you have sold car, you have sold shoes, and now you are selling furniture. What exactly is your work? Now, are you like Chukudi, that you have been selling different kind of things? I understand. I'm sure it's because you are trying to make ends meet. Country hard. That is one of the reasons why in the next 100 days, I'm going to be showing you a better way of doing this thing. How you can find purpose, how you can stay and on a business and build it and become a huge name. I'm going to be teaching you how to build a successful business. And even if you decide that you want to go online and you want to diversify, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to do it. And also I'm going to be fixing that mindset of yours that has been taking you pure. Join me on this 100-day journey. It's absolutely free. Titled Mind and Money. I am going to be teaching you skills that will help you transform not just your mind but also your pocket. Click on the link below. Get registered. See you there.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another day. Day 40 of our Minds and Money series, right? I know it's been an awesome time. I know we have all been gaining value. And today we are going to be talking about from bear to bull, Bitcoin to hit $250,000, right? Now, I'm sure there's been a lot of speculation as to where is Bitcoin headed, right? Okay, so one of the things I've come to learn about the financial market is patterns, right? If you have traded any kind of financial market, if you have traded forex, if you have traded commodities, if you have traded stocks, whatever it is that you have traded, if you've engaged in the financial market, one thing you can be very sure of is that you would always notice patterns. You always notice patterns, and these patterns are a reflection. These patterns are a reflection of what price has done in the past. And with that, we can now tell what price is most likely going to do in the future, right? Okay, so Bitcoin. There's a whole lot of craze about Bitcoin. Bitcoin just hit all-time high. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago. Bitcoin hit all-time high of $69,000, right? And it was a crave. It was a rave. It caused a rave. A lot of people were talking about it and all of that, right? But the question is, are we where Bitcoin should be yet? And the truth is, no, we are not there yet. We are not anywhere close. And the reason is because statistically, if we go by what market has done in the past, we can predict with some form of higher probability that there is a high and strong tendency that Bitcoin is going to get very far. Now, let us, and for us to establish this is going to be one of the shortest live we're going to have. And the reason is because everybody is seeing what's going on in the market. And why are we predicting this short term, or why are we predicting this price? Why do I think Bitcoin will get to 250,000? As a matter of fact, $250,000 is being very, very cautious of what Bitcoin will do. I'm not considering, there are so many factors I am not going to consider, right? Because I want to paint this picture as clear as possible in your head. So I'm going to move away from so many factors. I'm going to dwell on one major factor, and that is historic price movement. Historic price movement. Now, whenever you open your chart, whenever you open your Forex chart, you open your trading chart, you are going to see trading candles. Now, these trading candles are, you see all those green and red candles you see on your chart. Now, what you need to understand is that in each candlestick represents the emotions of traders, their fear, their greed. It's a reflection of the trade, of the psych or the psychology of traders. Now, if you have that understanding, then you understand why we have technical indicators. Technical indicators. So all your indicators, your RSI, your Bollinger Band, your moving averages, and all of that. These are indicators, mathematical formulas that were built based on historic price performance. Now, if you rely heavily on trading as a technical trader, or if you rely heavily on indicators, or if you rely on indicators at all, then you would understand the value of historic price. That's one. Two, even if you don't rely on indicators, that you just trade bare charts, price movement, price action, you would understand that you cannot have anything like support or resistance if you cannot connect that price to a previous price, right? As a matter of fact, when we are talking about support in price, we are simply talking about a price level or an area where price in time past has gotten to that place and gone back up. So let's assume price was falling, it gets to a particular place, a particular price region, and bounces back. Gets to that price region again, bounces back. Now we assume that that area is an area of support. Now, why do you need this information? So if you are trading sometime in the future and price is approaching that same area that it approached some 5-10 years ago and it responded, right? If you are trading and that happens, you should expect that there's going to be a reaction in the market. Now, we saw this clearly 2 days ago. Bitcoin hit all-time high of $69,000, right? We saw that Bitcoin hit the all-time high of $69,000 and immediately it got to that price. It came back down to up to $59,000. Now, that is an example, a typical example, because the $69,000, which is the previous all-time high, we are talking about is some two years ago, right? But Bitcoin got to that price in 2024 and reacted. What does this mean? It means that if you want to study any currency or any trading instrument, you need to understand what goes on in, or what has gone on in that instrument over the past few years. So you need to go back and look at the historic price performance. Now, having established this, how has Bitcoin fared over the years? How has Bitcoin fared over the years? What has the price been over the years that is giving anybody the audacity or the infantry to predict or speculate that we are headed to a minimum of $250,000? Why am I that confident? So that's exactly what I'm going to show you. Now, Bitcoin started in when? 2009. First Genesis Bitcoin white paper was launched 2008. The Genesis block, the first block, remember it's called a blockchain, it's built on the blockchain. So the first transaction that happened, the first Bitcoin was mined, which is what we call the Genesis block, was mined in 2009. Now, as at that time, Bitcoin had no value. Users were just mining it, and the rest of them. So it was just more of all those online things that people do. The first time there was ever a value attached to Bitcoin was in 2010, when Laszlo paid 10,000 BTC for 2 pizza. 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizza. He was the first person that established an initial exchange rate in 2010. So Bitcoin was mined started with first mining in 2009. The first exchange was in 2010. Now, after that transaction, in 2011, Bitcoin started from $0.5 and went to as high as $1. To as high as $1. Now, so Bitcoin was at $1 in 2011. By 2012, 2013, Bitcoin rose to over $1,000. That's about $1,160. This is 2013. Please follow me. 2013, Bitcoin got to $1,160. Then by 2014, 2015, Bitcoin dropped to as low as $50. Bitcoin dropped after getting to $1,000, $1,100 something dollars. Bitcoin dropped to $50. Pay attention. From $1,000 to $50. Now, by 2016, 2017, Bitcoin rose to $1,000, then went on in 2017 to get to $20,000. Please pay attention to the year 2012, 2016. Now, Bitcoin rose to as high as $20,000. Of course, by then there was already mainstream adoption. People were becoming very interested in it. There was a lot of speculations. Now, fast forward, 2018, 2019, Bitcoin fell from $20,000 to $3,500. Bitcoin fell to what? $3,500. Right? To 3,005. Now, from 3,005, Bitcoin went to where? $67,000 by 2021. 2021, Bitcoin went to what? $67,000. Then after that, Bitcoin fell to $15,000. Now, pay attention. Pay attention. Why are these dates, the years, why are the years very important? And why is the price very important? Now I'll explain to you. Coincidentally, the year Bitcoin got to a new all-time high is usually after what is called the Bitcoin halving. After what is called the Bitcoin halving. Stay with me. Now, when Satoshi created Bitcoin, he created Bitcoin in such a way that the currency is created automatically every 10 minutes. Bitcoin is created every 10 minutes by miners. And the amount of Bitcoin created is supposed to reduce with time. Now, what does this mean? When Bitcoin was launched in 2009, from 2009, 50 Bitcoin were to be created every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, 50 Bitcoins is created. Every 10 minutes, 50 Bitcoins is created. Now, according to the algorithm, according to the rules that was embedded in Bitcoin blockchain, this number of Bitcoin is supposed to reduce by half every 4 years. This number of Bitcoin is supposed to reduce by half every 4 years. Now, what does that mean? From 2009, 4 years after 2009, it's 2012. Right? 4 years after 2009, 2012. So in 2012, the number of Bitcoin that was created reduced from 50 Bitcoins every 10 minutes to 25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. Now, that's what is called Bitcoin halving. That the amount of Bitcoin created every 10 minutes is reduced by half after 4 years. Now, follow this. So, from 2012, 4 years after 2012 is 2016. Now, in 2016, the number of Bitcoin created every 10 minutes will reduce from 25 Bitcoin per every 10 minutes. It will reduce by half to what? 12.5 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. Now, from 2016 to 2020, the number of Bitcoin that will be created every 10 minutes will reduce from 12.5 to 6.25. From 2020 to 2024, the number of Bitcoin that would be the number of Bitcoin that will be created every 10 minutes will reduce from 6.25 to 3.125. To 3.125. Now, that is what we are expecting in 2024. And the next Bitcoin halving is next month. The next Bitcoin halving is next month. Now, having understood what Bitcoin halving is, I want to show you something. Do you think it's a coincidence that after every Bitcoin halving, in 2012, Bitcoin reached a new all-time high? Before 2012, the highest price Bitcoin ever reached was $32. Before Bitcoin halving, the highest price, that's before 2012, the highest price Bitcoin ever reached was $32. But after the first halving, Bitcoin increased to $1,160. $1,160. Now, follow me. Now, Bitcoin, after the first halving, it got to $1,163. Then it fell. Pay attention. It fell from 1,160 to $50. That means between the first halving and the second halving, Bitcoin dropped from above $1,000 to $50. Now, coincidentally, after the next halving in 2016, Bitcoin rose again in 2017 to make a new all-time high of $19,800. Please pay attention. Every year after Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin will hit a new all-time high. We saw in 2012, 2013, where Bitcoin hit 1,163. We saw in 2016, 2017, where Bitcoin hit 19,800. Now, in 2020, after the Bitcoin halving, now, mind you, when Bitcoin fell from 19,800, it went as low as $3,500. It went as low as $3,500. Now, follow me. From $3,500, after the next halving, Bitcoin went up to as high as $67,000. And the next halving was in 2020. By 2021, Bitcoin was already at what? $67,000. Then after Bitcoin hit this price, it fell to 15,000, which was the lowest least it got to. $15,000. Now, what does this mean? Let's look at statistics. Let's play with the numbers. Bitcoin rose from the previous low of $1 before halving to an all-time high of above $1,000. What does that mean? That the price difference between previous low before halving and all-time high after halving for the first Bitcoin halving was what? 1,000x. Pay attention. Was 1,000x. Now, then it fell to $50. Bitcoin fell to $50 after it reached the all-time high of 1,000 something. It fell to a new low of $50. Now, from $50 previous low, Bitcoin rose to about $19,800 all-time high after halving. Right? To $19,800 after halving. Now, if we play with that, this is giving us an average of 400x between the previous low before halving and the all-time high after halving, after the second halving. Follow me. Now, after that, after Bitcoin hit 19,000 something, it fell to 3,005, which is now our new low. Now, from the new low to the next all-time high, which is 19,008, which is about $67,000 or $69,000 on some exchanges. Let's use $67,000 for the sake of this analysis. So we rose from what? 3,500 to 60 what? $68,000. Right? Now, what does this mean? This is an average of what? 20x. 20x average. Now, let's watch this. After the first halving, Bitcoin did from previous low to all-time high. How many x's? 1,000x. After the second, it did 400x. After the next, it did 20x. Now, we now went to as low as $15,000. If we go by statistics, now we are not considering any fundamental yet. We are just playing with historic price movement. If we go by statistics, we are expecting that after the next halving next month, we expect Bitcoin to rally an average of 10 to 20x. 10 to 20x. And why am I being very conservative? This is because you cannot take out every other indicators, like fundamental indicators, when analyzing an asset. So if we consider fundamental indicators, and what is the fundamental indicator we are talking about? We are looking at mainstream adoption. We are looking at ETF, Bitcoin ETF. We are looking at the fact that it has gone global. Now, with Bitcoin ETF alone, Bitcoin has hit previous all-time high, and we have not gotten to have it yet. So if we work with that, we should be expecting an average of 10 to 20x from the previous low. And our previous low is $15,000. It's $15,000. So 10x of $15,000 is already $150,000. 20x is already $300,000. Now, if we want to add other factors, such as the ETF and a lot of other things, what is going to happen is that we expect Bitcoin to get as high as $500,000 to $700,000. But now, this is the thing. Bitcoin will not stay there. It's going to sharply and quickly correct. And the reason is because with the influx of a lot of money coming into crypto as a result of the Bitcoin ETFs and all of that, there's something that is going to follow it swiftly, and it's going to be intense regulation. Intense regulation. We are going to see intense regulation in crypto. And I believe we have already started seeing it with what just happened recently in Nigeria, where Binance was kicked out. Now, why? This is as a result of regulations. The Nigerian government is trying to regulate activities of cryptocurrency. However, in my opinion, they did it very wrongly. Why? Because they already set regulations that should govern how these things work. So instead of outrightly kicking these guys out, because you say they are taking money out, or you say they are influencing the exchange rate, why not create a regulation that will govern them, create a system of taxing all these activities? See, there are ways these things would have been handled. But trust me, guys, when I tell you this, with Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high, after halving, we are expecting somewhere in the range of $150,000 to over $500,000. And I'm telling you, I'm not telling you what I feel. I'm telling you based on historic price performance. Then if we now put in other factors, such as the ETFs and the rest, let me tell you something you don't understand. Now, there's something called smart money. Smart money are the people that are called market makers. These guys are the ones that move markets. The biggest banks in the world will not be buying Bitcoin at $30-something thousand to make $10,000 profits. No. These guys are market makers. They are the smart money. They are going to push this as far as it can go, as quick as they can go, and milk as much as they can. Because they know immediately they move, regulations will follow. So we expect that this bull run will be very short-lived, and also that it will get to somewhere in the range of over $300,000. And this is based on statistics. This is based on historic facts. So what are you supposed to do with this information? Every time Bitcoin hits a new all-time high, what happens is that it gets to a point and it's fairly stable. Then other currencies, other cryptocurrencies, other altcoins follow it. So what you should do with this information is to look for quality coins that will follow this move. And that's where your money is. Yes, that's where your money is. We expect Ethereum to do anything within $10,000 to $30,000. And this is based on historic price movement as well. We expect Ethereum to do the same. If you want to make money from this bull run and you don't have serious money, it's not Bitcoin you should be looking at buying. Look for gems, look for quality projects, research. Look for quality projects that have life, that have use case. Because when regulations come, trust me, guys, you see, there are so many rubbish coins that will disappear because they will not be able to withstand the regulations. So we are just going to have few tokens that have utility, that have use, that have what they bring to the table. So your best form, if you want to do all this long-term investment, you want to buy coin and hold it for 5 years, 10 years, make sure what you are going to be buying is not going to be shit in the next 5, 10 years. Right? So at this point, you need to take your time and look out for all those kind of coins. Research, do your research. And if you're having difficulty in doing any of that, please feel free to reach out. We have the series of coins that we have properly researched on, as much as 42 different coins that we've researched on properly, and investing in any of them could do you a whole lot of good. As a matter of fact, since we did our research, most of them have been printing good numbers. So this is where I will draw this curtain, right? So take this information and do whatever you please to it. But one thing I must tell you is don't sit on it. It's a bullish year. It's a bullish year. There may never be a bull run as huge as what is coming. Right? There may never be a bull run as huge as what is coming. You need to understand times and understand seasons if you must be successful in this life. Right? So this is where I will draw the curtain for tonight. I want to believe you gain value. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And I am sure we'll be able to help you with your questions. Thank you very much, guys. I want to say once more, God bless you.